Hello, welcome, summer school students, summer 21, women's health. I'm just going to go over the syllabus for you. Please do, if you want to visit me during my office hours, please don't hesitate to email me. We can schedule an appointment. I'm just not holding regular office hours because when I've done that in the past, in the summer, nobody comes and I'm just sitting around in office hours. And we will do office hours on Zoom. There are two textbooks for this class, but you only need to buy the second. The Biology of Women. I've got both of these on reserve at the library for a 2-hour checkout. The Biology of Women one you don't have to purchase. I have taken any updates in the latest edition and I have rolled those into lectures. So all the lectures have been updated. But a lot of the lectures do kind of follow along on this book, and it's a wonderful book, nice integrative medicine type of book. The second book is my book, my Fat Talk book, and that you will need to get a hold of. And there are a couple of different ways you can do that. I've got it on reserve at the library, so you can check it out for free for 2 hours at a time. I would also suggest that you check out Amazon or any other book dealer that you look into and see if you can get a used one for cheap. It retails for close to $40. I can get you an author discount for $30 if you're willing to do that, and I can get you a signed copy and pop it in snail mail for you if you'd like to do that. I've only got a couple more copies left though from my author discount. Course objective here is we're really going to look at women's health in a mind-body perspective. And that mind-body from a scientific standpoint is called a biopsychosocial spiritual model. So at times we're going to go down to a biological level. A lot of times we're going to be talking about a psychological level, meaning behavior, affect or emotions, as well as thoughts, which is called cognition. But we're going to be looking at relationships and then all the way up to a spiritual, mystical, meaningful aspect. We're also going to talk about some contemporary controversies that are involved in women's health, and there are a lot of them, and that's a lot of that kind of stuff is what I've written about in my Fat Talk book. But there will be some lectures where we get into politics and ethics and kind of cultural issues and that type of thing. Okay. You will have 3 exams. Each of those are worth 25% of your class. And because this class is totally online and totally asynchronous, I want you all to keep pace with the class. Now, keep in mind, you can get ahead if you would like to. I welcome that. There will be students who will be finishing this class ahead of time. But I will have you on each of the major lectures take your notes, either typing your notes, or actually it's even better if you handwrite your notes. From a cognitive perspective, we know people learn better if they handwrite. If you handwrite, I would ask that you take a picture of your handwritten notes. If you're typing your notes on a Word file, I'll ask that you upload all of those onto As You Learn for every single lecture. I will look at your notes, and if I feel like you need some feedback, if you feel like they're not detailed enough or they're too detailed and you're getting into the minutia, I will give you feedback on that. I highly recommend from a learning perspective that you take notes on lectures, you take notes on documentaries or any of the video clips, and then you take notes on the notes where you kind of like either relate it to your own life or you kind of summarize it or bring it down to a memorable aspect of that. The reflection papers, at the very end of the semester, we will get into the book, and the book has 9 chapters and a preface. And I'm going to ask that you do a reflection for the preface and every single chapter of that book. So to be a reflection on the material in the chapter, as well as, is this new information for you? Was some of this information upsetting? Did it create some kind of controversy or some tension? Because a lot of the work that I did on that's kind of meant to stir thought and is kind of meant to bring up some of the tensions that are happening nowadays related to fat talk and body image and women's health and that type of thing. So you will be uploading 25 of these notes and reflections on As You Learn, and that will count 25% of your grade. Class attendance, there's no group class attendance. It's going to be self-paced. I hope that that is convenient for you all this summer and that you don't get lost in that. I will send out email reminders on As You Learn reminders of what needs to be done each week to make sure that you are keeping pace. So total class grade, 100 points, 75%, 3 exams, each 25%. The final exam is cumulative. The 2 in the middle are only on the material up until then. Your notes and reflections, those 25 that you upload on Turnitin, each is worth 1 point. So that's another 25% of your grade. Note, I do plus minus, and I start my A's and B's at the 4s. So 84, 94, that kind of thing. Here is the class schedule and what will be required every day. I have also loaded this into As You Learn as a block in As You Learn. And so that you will see that this will correspond to that. All of the recordings are up there on YouTube, and you will see links. And as this kind of on the syllabus, it goes across time like we would be handwriting. You will see when you get into As You Learn, it goes from top to bottom. Okay, so it is sequenced by time from top to bottom to help keep it organized. The exams are already up. The password information is there. You can take the exams early. They're opened up early if you would like to do that. The first exam has to be taken by 2 o'clock on Wednesday, June 2nd. The second exam is Thursday, the 17th. And then the final exam has to be taken during the daytime on June 24th, and it will be cumulative. The only new material on that will be the stuff from the Fat Talk book. I've got all kinds of information down here. If you have a registered disability, let me know. Classroom inclusion, if you've got housing or food insecurity. The attendance policy is kind of silly for something like this class. I do recommend that you read over the study guide and learning strategies, especially if you're the type of student I have kind of seen in the pandemic. Some students absolutely thrive in an asynchronous online class where they have to self-pace. I have seen other students absolutely drown in that atmosphere. I will post up on the website College at Home, which is recommendations for how to do this stuff when you're self-pacing. Please visit me during office hours or scheduled office hours if you need some help with any of that. If you are one of those students that really struggles with this, or you feel like you're drowning with these asynchronous online, get in touch with me and we can kind of talk and develop strategies. But first, do read over all these study guide and learning strategies. This really is information on how best to learn. I want you all to learn this information. If you're interested in women's health, that's good for you personally. That could be good for relationships. If you're a guy and you know women, it could be good for you all if you're future healthcare professionals. I really want you to learn. So this is more information on how to learn. When it comes to the content that you can be tested on. So if you all wanted a study guide, tell me what's going to be on the exam. I'll let you know right now that I will tell you, I will do that in lectures. I will do that in documentaries. I will do that in other types of readings that we have in this class. That is the information that I want you to learn. The exam will be representative sampling from that information. So this really is how to study and how to learn. Also note that I highly recommend that you say hello to the class on Flipgrid. That'll give you a sense. You can even look at other people's hellos. And that gives you just a sense that you're not alone. There are other people in the class if you want to get in touch with other people. And if you want to have study buddies, that kind of thing, you are welcome to do so. So welcome to Women's Health, everybody. I look forward to teaching you this summer.